Hello audio engineers of the internet. In this video I'm going to show you how I like to EQ my snare. So I'm going to play the dry snare I have recorded. That sounded decent, but I think we can make it sound better. So I'm going to add a 7-band EQ, and I've already created a preset and I've named it Solid Snare, and I will walk you through everything that I did. So the first thing I did was I added a high pass filter at 50 Hertz with a Q of 24 decibels per octave. And what this is going to do is get rid of some of the muddiness in the snare, which is unappealing. The next thing we're going to do is go up to 130 Hertz. I boosted at 6 decibels with a Q of 5. Now what you're going to find in the 100 Hertz to 300 Hertz range is the body of the snare. So by increasing the gain in this range, you're going to get a bigger sounding snare, which is ideal. So the next thing I did was I went up to 900 Hertz with a Q of 3.5 with a gain of 6 decibels. And what you're going to find in the 500 Hertz to 1 kilohertz range is the solid snare crack sound that you hear. So you're going to want to sweep from 500 Hertz to 1000 Hertz until you find where your snare really cracks. Next thing I did was I went up to 6.5 kilohertz with a Q of 1.5 and a gain of 6 decibels. And what you're going to find in the 5 kilohertz to 10 kilohertz range is the crispness in the snare. So I find that if I have my frequency at 6.5, my Q at 1.5 rather low, and my gain at 6, I can cover almost all the frequencies in the 5 kilohertz to 10 kilohertz range. So I get a lot of crispness in my snare, which is really ideal. So that's all that I would do, except there's a really annoying ring in my snare. So what I did was I boosted my gain on this band to 18 decibels with a Q of 10, and I just swept along the frequencies until I found where that ring really stood out, and it so happened to be at 264 Hertz-ish area. So I just cut that out, and then my ring was magically gone. So now that we've EQ'd this, we're going to take a listen. And now without EQ. And with EQ. So I think that sounds pretty good. I've put everything that I did in the description, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and if you want me to make any future videos, let me know what you'd like me to do. So, thanks for watching, and long live the snare drum in general.